Daughter blocked me from attending her wedding, so I canceled the wedding I paid for. So my daughter Melanie calls me last month saying she's getting married in 6 weeks to her boyfriend Alexander. I'm absolutely thrilled, right? She's been struggling financially since graduating college 3 years ago, bouncing between different jobs, barely making rent with Alexander in their tiny one-bedroom apartment downtown. So I immediately offer to pay for everything: the venue, catering, flowers, photography, DJ, decorations, wedding cake, transportation, bar service, the whole 9 yards without question. We're talking about a $15,000 wedding here that would drain their savings completely. I put down deposits everywhere, thinking I'm being the supportive father she never really had, growing up after her mother abandoned us when things got difficult. Melanie seems genuinely grateful at first, and we start planning together. We're texting constantly about menu options, discussing centerpieces and color schemes, going over seating arrangements, choosing between chicken or beef entrees, the usual wedding planning stuff that takes months of careful coordination. I'm thinking this is finally our chance to reconnect after years of tension and bitter arguments about everything. She's always been incredibly difficult since her mom left when she was 12 years old, causing problems everywhere she went, but I figured a wedding would bring us together as father and daughter again after all these years. 2 weeks before the big day, I call the venue coordinator to add my brother to the guest list since he just confirmed he could make it. Simple request, right? That's when this coordinator drops an absolute bomb on me that I never saw coming in a million years. She hesitates awkwardly for several seconds, then says neither my wife nor I are even on the guest list at all. I'm like, there has to be some massive mistake here. Please check again carefully because that's impossible. I demand she send me the full guest list immediately so we can sort this out. When it arrives in my email 30 minutes later, I'm scanning through 200 names, her college friends, co-workers, distant relatives I haven't seen in years, and people I don't even recognize from anywhere in my life. But my name? Nowhere to be found anywhere on the list. My wife's name? Completely missing from everything too. Turns out Melanie had specifically requested we be completely banned from entering the venue premises under any circumstances whatsoever. Security was briefed about us, given our photos, told to physically escort us away if we showed up uninvited. When I confronted her at her apartment the next day, she just shrugged coldly and said, honestly, it saves you the travel time and energy to drive there for nothing anyway. I'm standing there completely speechless and devastated by her cruelty. I asked what I possibly could have done wrong to deserve this cruel treatment from my own child. She goes completely off on me, screaming about how I always sided against her growing up, how I embarrassed her by marrying my second wife after her mother abandoned us both. Apparently, she was deeply ashamed to introduce her stepmom to her friends at the wedding celebration. She called my wife a gold digger who ruined everything, said I destroyed her entire childhood, blamed me for every single problem in her adult life. The pure venom in her voice was unlike anything I'd ever heard from my own daughter before, in 27 years of raising her alone. I'm standing there, completely heartbroken, funding a wedding I'm literally banned from attending, my own flesh and blood treating me like some unwanted stranger who meant absolutely nothing to her. So I made a choice that night that would change everything between us forever and teach her about consequences. Called the venue at midnight and canceled everything completely without hesitation. Lost $12,000 in deposits. But honestly, I didn't care anymore about the money at that point. This was about basic respect and human decency. Wedding day arrives, venue's locked down tight, caterers turned away at the gates, complete chaos everywhere. Melanie shows up in her beautiful white dress to find an empty building and security guards. She tried calling me, but I blocked her number. Am I wrong for teaching her actions have consequences?